Hey, welcome to day 27. For those of you who have not been following along, my name is Brian. I am working on 60 days of coding, 60 days of learning, and my goal is to work on a game using the Godot game engine. Now, this is not the only game that I've worked on through these 60 days. I did start off with a couple others. I had a little farming game that my daughter and I are going to end up continuing on after the 60 days. And then between that, I created a space survival shooter. Now I am absolutely just hyper focusing on a tower defense game that I am bringing you along with me to complete. So when I say complete, we're going to get it to a good point, and then we're going to get on to the next one because I believe that we probably have maybe a couple weeks left on this. Now, everything that we have completed so far has taken us up to where we are, of course, but most importantly, there is a huge change between yesterday and today. We're making some big adjustments to how this works, and we have a full game loop with multiple waves now. So I want to show this to you, and then I'll show a couple of the adjustments that I made within the code, and then we'll move on from there. So here's the demo. So if you remember yesterday, previously it was saying wave, and then I had the curly brackets and a number in there. I do have that showing the correct wave that you're on. You're going to see as we advance through the waves, that number does update. So I was pretty excited about that. So that was part of, and this is also part of what's called the planning phase. So in the planning phase, you as a player want to make sure that you have all of your towers down to be able to take on the incoming wave. You can plant waves as you go through the wave itself and as you get currency, but the 30 seconds of the planning wave allows you to take a moment and really think about what you want to do next. Awesome. So as you saw, we completed our first wave there, and I just threw the troops up at the front, make it a little cheesy, because I want to test this and I want to get through it quick. So once the wave ends, it's telling you it's time for another planning phase. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and click on skip planning. I don't have enough to do anything else. And then the wave start, which is I believe it's a 5-second deal. The wave start pops up and says, they're coming. That's at the beginning of each wave. So you're going to see that I did add a few more states in there to really make the pieces granular in case there are some individual things we need to do as we go. So we're done. That's it. So right now I just have 2 waves. I have it set up in the way that I have been testing, and it's been working out pretty well. So what I'm going to do real quick, before we actually get into digging into stuff, I'm going to increase the number of enemies in those waves, the number of units. I'm also going to increase the reward on a couple things because I did implement individual reward based on the different type of unit. And then we're going to run it again. So we're going to do 5 waves. And in those 5 waves, I want it to be incrementally difficult, more difficult. Now, what is my definition of what more difficult is? I still have yet to figure that one out. There has to be some sort of, I'm sure there's some sort of calculation that says we should be going in this direction. That's probably going to be another topic for in the future to kind of figure those numbers out. And if anyone has any resources that I can take a look at and study and figure that out, just kind of to expedite that process, please do share. I am very interested. But in the meantime, let's take a look. So right now we have I believe we have the runner, the grunt, and the scout. Those are our 3. So the scout is only giving us 10. So that is our base. The runner is giving us 15. And the grunt, I'm going to have this one give us, I don't know, let's do 18 because it'll be really good just to see the odd numbers. I don't really care to see 10s or 5s. Let's just play. So what we're going to do on here also is we're going to take a look at our wave data. So I went into level 1, and inside level 1, we're going to look at the wave data. And in here, I have 1, 2, 3 enemies that we're going to drop in. We have a goblin sneak. That's the one I didn't modify. Runner and scout. So for wave 1, we need to keep it really simple. We're going to put this up at, I don't know, let's put it up at 10 scouts. By the end of this, we will be able to buy another tower. The next thing that I want to do is take a look at the next wave. So did I delete everything or did I delete the wave entry? Nope. We have 2 waves. So that's wave 1. Wave 2, we're going to have 10 of our goblin scouts. Those I believe are the base ones. So let's go in here. We're not going to have 10. Let's go ahead and have 5 of them. Let's add an element. I'm going to add another entry inside of here. I'm going to add runners. So we're going to have some fast boys running through. So if there's a chance they'll get right past the first tower. So this will tell you need to spread it out a little bit more. So that's enough complexity, I think, for wave 2. So let's hop on to the next one. And for this one here, we're going to start introducing in our grunt. And how many grunts do we want on this? Let's go ahead and just jump it up to 7. Again, no rhyme or reason why. We play test, we see how it feels. I'm going to go ahead and put 10 goblin scouts in there. And let's go ahead and add some runners in there. Maybe we'll add 3, so they'll just kind of sneak in maybe they'll sneak in undetected underneath all the towers. And then I think that's feeling pretty good for this. And I think that there's enough variety in here that's going to keep us going. So I see 2 waves right now. 2 waves with runner, scout, goblin. Okay, so I did mean to add another wave data because this one we want to do the scout and the runner. And then you know what? I probably could be making this easier on myself by finding a way to simplify this. In fact, one thing that I might start doing is looking into VS Code and seeing if these resources are available, just to kind of tippy tap with my fingers on. So more on that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get in here. That wave data. Let's go ahead and add an element. So we have a grunt. So this is going to be the goblin grunt. And for that, we want 7. All right, let's do another. 10 scouts. 10 scouts. And then we have 3 runners. All right. And let's get those runners in there. Yeah, should go down to 3. Okay. So let's look at what we have on here. So in that last one, let's go ahead and drop that down. Runner, scout, grunt. And let's go look at those. The runner is 15. The scout is 10. Grunt is 15. All right. I was putting the sneak in there, which just uses the same as the grunt. So, all right, let's go ahead and replay this. Level 1, I'm going to put a tower here, and a tower here. And let's go. All right, so we have our first few, so they're just the regular scouts. One thing I'm noticing is that the towers are shooting what seems to be the furthest enemy. So there's 100. I'll go ahead and toss this right here and skip planning. All right, there we have a runner right off the bat. So it seems to be losing it as it even comes closer in. So kind of interested in why. Okay. Oh, that runner made it through. And not too far. All right. Last one. We have enough for one more tower. I'm going to protect down here. So, almost feel like the enemies may need to come in a little less staggered. So maybe drop it down by about a quarter of a second as they're running through. Because right now, really, it could just live with 3 towers. Oh, looks like that 4th tower at the bottom took it out. But anyways, there we go. So we now have a full game. We now have mechanics. We now have towers going. And we have our base. So I think that looks pretty good. There was some feedback that I'm going to do something with. Just to share, I am going to be looking at a better experience for adding the towers. I completely agree with that YouTube comment. The suggestion was to do a drag and drop, so I'm going to look at what an experience could look like of doing drag and drop. And do I continue with a pop-up? Do I change that? Do I add right click? So you right click to bring up that menu. You know what? I'm thinking too much about it right now. The other thing is the tower range. Do you have any idea how far these towers are actually shooting right now? So I would love to, once the drag and drop process, or even with the existing one, when you hover over, providing an idea of what the range looks like for that individual troop. So maybe finding a way to better tune the range in a way that I can actually display it as a circle on the map. And then I want to get into actually putting custom assets on this game, different animations, make the game really come to life, adding some more, maybe adding some buildings, adding some things that you can't place towers on. So just making the game come to life a little bit more. Anyways, there you go. So I hope that you got something out of this. I wasn't, as I mentioned yesterday, I wasn't 100% looking forward to doing waves because I couldn't picture it in my mind. But once the state machine started coming to life and actually I could see it, it just made absolute sense and things just clicked. So anyways, I appreciate you joining me on this journey and hope you have a great one.